Hello, my name is Christopher Kai. Over 20 years ago, I wrote this book that took me 8 years. And I had the book, I hired a coach, and within 8 weeks, I finished it. But that was the beginning of my struggle and challenge and pain. Because though I was excited about writing this book, I had a website, I wanted to be a speaker, I had my speech topics, and guess what? No one cared. Do you feel that way sometimes? Where maybe you're a coach or speaker, you're a consultant, you're a wealth manager, you're a fitness trainer, a realtor, an insurance agent, and you want to strive, you want to succeed, but no one cares. They don't tell you this. If you have a book, which you don't need, if you have a business and service that you want to promote, if you don't have what I call boss bio credibility, no one's going to care. And no one told me that. Literally, I spent 8 years writing my first book, had a website, had speeches. No one cared until I realized it's about your credibility. It's what I call boss bio credibility, where ultimately, if someone Googles you, you will either be Google invisible, Google visible, or what I call Google boss bio credible, meaning people will Google you. You're like, wow, this man or woman's a boss. Let me explain what I mean by that. The best way to start building credibility is by networking with high-level people. That's why when I wrote this book, Billionaire Networker, How Do You Actually Network with Billionaire Executives, I met a gentleman named Tyler Wagner, who's a good buddy of mine now, but over 10 years ago, he was a 22-year-old college dropout. He told me to write a book on networking. Within 3 months, he got a #1 bestseller. I didn't believe him at the time, but I grilled him, asked him all these questions. Even though I had a book already written about how do you build a life based on your purpose and your profit, and I literally pushed aside that book because I knew I didn't want to write another book. You don't want to write a book or have a coaching program or a podcast, whatever, until you build that credibility. And so literally within 8 weeks, literally 2 months, I had written this book, The Draft, and I ended up getting a #1 bestseller. An Inc. magazine profiled me and saying I was a networking expert and billionaire networker. And I ended up interviewing Elon Musk, and he told me I know a lot. My point is, the first book, no one cared. No one cared about my speech, my topic, my website. But this isn't my second book. Actually, I've written 7. This is one I'm most well known for. As soon as I had a global brand, as soon as I was a boss bio, then immediately that credibility attracted the network I wanted, which is why I wrote this book in the first place, where what do you do in networking, where you research the events, engage the people at the events, and finally connect and close these individuals, whether as clients or investors. So the point of this, if you're in business right now, if you want to write a book, be a speaker, have a podcast, forget all that stuff. If you can't even have a 5-minute speech sharing your expertise, sharing what you're good at, why are you going to waste your time with other stuff? I have met and spoken to hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs, professionals all around the world over the last 20 years. And there's 3 specific things that you need to have explosive business success. Just like gunpowder has only 3 ingredients, which is sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate. In your business, no matter what level you're at, whether you're at 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, it always comes down to 3 things. I already shared with you the credibility part. If you don't have the credibility, you're not going to attract the connections you want, which is the network. And even if you have the network and the credibility, you need to understand how to communicate. And the best way to communicate is literally by being a speaker, whether in person, whether virtual. That's why I created this GiftDirect Talks, which has been called the TED Talks Entrepreneurs. So when my clients come on my stages, they can already say they share the stage with the founder of TED Talks. My GiftDirect Talks series has been called the TED Talks Entrepreneurs. So when you come on my stages, you literally can say you're an international speaker, GiftDirect Talks speaker, which you have shared the stage with the founder of TED Talks, Queen Diambe. These are my friends and colleagues and mentors, where if you don't have that credibility, if you don't know how to communicate the credibility as a speaker, and if you don't have the connections, that's why you're where you are now. If you want to learn how to have what I call explosive business success, make sure you apply to be part of our coaching packages, whether it's masterminds, coaching packages, done for you programs, because I have helped hundreds of thousands of people globally. I just came back from a global speaking tour. So whether you want to travel the world in different countries, inspiring people with your message, or just be at your home. One of my clients, she is a stay-at-home mother. She wants to help her kids out. So I said, you can do virtual. I remember one time I literally gave 3 speeches, 2 virtual, 1 in person in my hotel room in Vegas. The point is, if you're a speaker or the coach, if you're in any client service basis business, it's all about those three things. Do you have the connections with millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, investors, whoever you want to meet? If you have the connections, I've gotten my clients into the right rooms. I realized they didn't have the credibility. You have to build that what I call boss buyout credibility. And the simplest way, if you think you have a boss buyout, is simple. If you removed your name and put someone else's name, and that person can own your bio, that's not a boss bio. One of my clients built not one, but two unicorn companies. He built out in the 90s. And let's say his name is Michael Michaels. And he says he's a serial entrepreneur, coach, keynote speaker. You can remove Michael Michaels' name from there, put your name, and it says the same thing. So a boss bio to build a credibility is saying things like you're a #1 best-selling author or a top speaker. The point is, it's a lot easier if you know the science of the credibility, connections, and communication skills, which I have done for over 20 years. So again, if you're struggling in your business, if you're tired of having this linear growth, if you want explosive business growth as a speaker, author, coach, whether you're just starting or you want to scale, learn from me. If you actually qualify, if it's a good fit, go ahead and fill out the application and look forward to seeing how I can help you have explosive business growth by helping you define your credibility, communication, and connections. You might think you know those three, but if you're not where you want to be right now, it's always coming down to those things. And how do I know this? Based on 20 plus years of experience, based on research, having talked to hundreds of thousands of people. I look forward to seeing your application. My team looks forward to looking at it as well. I'm excited to see you have explosive business success.